Focusing on Improving Memory by Alex Velasquez, Will Fitzgerald, and Hafiza. We will start out with misinformation and imagination effects. Let's say you are telling someone a story from your memory. For example, you rode a really fast roller coaster at some amusement park. You won't be able to tell every single moment that happened from that memory, and you'll change it around to make the memory seem amazing than it actually was. This is called the misinformation effect. The misinformation effect is incorporating misleading information into one's memory of an event. So in other words, the human mind has its own built-in photoshopping software. Elizabeth Loftus and John Palmer has shown how many eyewitnesses would reconstruct their memories when later questioned due to misinformation. Because of the misinformation effect, it is nearly impossible to discriminate between our memories of real and suggested events. Now over to a quick video.
We have all heard the phrase, "children never lie." Yet in this case, the phrase is not entirely true. Children's reports are not always accurate. They usually report what they hear rather than what they see. In one experiment, over the course of 10 weeks, an adult told the same story to a preschooler, embellishing on some details. At the end of the experiment, 58% of preschoolers produced false stories regarding one or more events they had never experienced. When questioning children, it is better to use neutral words so they better understand and do not feel the need to exaggerate.
Here we are going to talk about source amnesia and how it affects memory construction. Source amnesia refers to the inability in remembering where existing knowledge was acquired. For a basic example, most of us remember learning how to read and write, but we don't remember learning to walk. Even award-winning authors execute source amnesia with an accidental plagiarism. In some of their greatest works, authors think they produced a thought when in fact it was someone else's that they remember reading or hearing about. Most oftentimes, the weakest portion of a memory is the source from which it had been attained. In this presentation, we are going to be learning about the process behind discerning true and false memories. People's initial interpretations influence their perceptual memories. In Halberstad and Nidenthal's study, New Zealand university students were shown morphed faces and asked to explain why this person is happy or angry. Half an hour later, when participants were asked to slide a bar to find the expression they had seen before, participants who explained anger recalled the face as angrier than those who had explained happiness. We also cannot judge how real a memory is by how persistent it is. Memories of imagined experiences are more restricted to the climax of the given event. False memories sometimes outlast their true memories. Never should anyone judge a memory's reality by its persistence throughout the mind. Memories that are false triggered by misinformation and sources arise without evidence. In the end, simply understand that memory construction is vital to a successful career, but remind yourself to maintain an open mind. We hope that you have gained some insight into your own mind as well. Thank you.
Repressed or constructed memories of abuse. Repression is one of the most haunting concepts in psychology. Something shocking happens, and the mind pushes it into some inaccessible corner of the unconscious. Let's say you're abused at an early age. You no longer remember this. Later, the memory may emerge into consciousness, whether it's from a resurgence in the abuse or therapy sessions. Repression is one of the foundation stones on which the structure of psychoanalysis rests. The main question is, did this event actually occur? Or was it either accidentally or purposely planted? While we know it is very possible for the brain to repress memories and no longer have access to them, it is also likely that through therapy or a conversation with someone, memories of severe abuse or a tragic event like watching your mother die could be planted in the mind.
Improving memory. As humans, we tend to forget many things: names, places, everything you should study for a test, and many other things. There are many ways to help you improve your memory. Here are some strategies to help you improve your memory. Study repeatedly. To master material, you need to space out the times you study the material, and study over and over again. Don't cram the information in one night. Make the material meaningful. Take the info you learn into your own words, so you can take the information and understand it in your own context. Activate retrieval cues. Mentally recreate the situation and the mood in which your original learning occurred. Use mnemonic devices. Make up a story or song. Chunk information into acronyms. Minimize interference. Study before sleeping. Sleep more. During sleep, the brain organizes and consolidates information for long-term memory. And finally, test your own knowledge. Don't be overconfident that you can recognize all information. Test yourself and figure out what you know and what you don't.